You lot, raise your glasses. This one's for Paul, Phil, and the Paranormal Soul Brother! Paul's got a torch and a tradies belt. Swears that he felt a cold hand on his bum. Phil's in the kitchen with a GoPro helmet, shouting, "Come at me, spirit, you cowardly scum!" Soul Brothers burning the bargain bin sage, reading vibes like a busted old gauge. Ghost wankers, ghost wankers, three brave idiots and a busted van. Ghost wankers, ghost wankers, chasing bad vibes round the caravan. If your house feels weird and your dog won't stay, they'll rock up drunk and scare it away. Ghost wankers, ghost wankers, best worst hunters in the whole damn land. Oh, yeah.
All right, tonight we got a great guest. We have Dedric Knox, and he's an author of BUGFORCE, Micronauts of Earth. Now tell me, Dedric, how did you get started on this, and what's that all about?
So, BUGFORCE Micronauts of Earth has been with me, incidentally, a very, very long time, for more than 30 years. But after talking to my children and my wife about it for the last 30 years, they say, well, why don't you write a book about it? And so I started writing a book about it, and it turns out that it's incidentally going to be a series. But what really kicks it off is the whole series itself is about man and his balance to Earth. And so it comes a time in our near future where man will not be in balance with Earth, and a piece of what I'm calling the resonance in my book breaks off from, without giving too much of the book, break off the what I call the prime root. And he starts, this character starts instructing the other insects because this particular character does not want to follow the Earth's idea of bringing man into compliance. And what I mean by that is our progressiveness has caused the Earth. We just went just a little bit too far. We fell out of balance with it. And so the insects are like, well, we're going to do it our way rather than what the Earth wants to do. And it's not that the Earth is living, it's this resonance that flows through the Earth from what we call the tree of life in the book. And so man in their way of in trying to combat engage with the insects, we did it the old-fashioned way, right? We did it with pesticides, and we were trying to, because there's so much of it. And so ironically, we have scientists and that came and decided and looked at the whole deal and say, you know what, we may be looking at this at the wrong scale. And so they come up with this technology that shrinks what I'm calling volunteers. They are volunteers to join this new military, for lack of a word, to go and combat the insects in order to try to save the Earth and to come in line with the Earth and save mankind. And the technology shrinks them to a half an inch tall.
Wow. And this has been going on in your mind for like 30 years?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you, my wife said you need to write a book about it, and she kept telling me that because we would see movie after movie or book after book with something similar to that. When I don't know if you remember Bug's Life, I think it was when it came out. um, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. All these things came out, and but all this stuff was in my head, but I never released
Oh, hey, Dedric, let me hold you for a second here.
it. Okay.
Phil, Zandine keeps on messaging me. I sent him the link, but he's saying it's not the link.
Yeah, I know. I just sent the same link twice, so
Okay. All right.
well,
I'm sorry.
it worked for you. It's working for
Okay.
it's half working for Steve, and it's worked for
Oh, wow.
Dedric. So.
Okay. Sorry
All right.
about that, Dedric.
No,
Yeah. So is this going to be like a graphic novel? Has it already been published or what?
it should be published late May, early June, if I don't get any hiccups. It's not a graphic novel, but I have been pushing stuff out and illustrations throughout Facebook because I want people to become interested in it, of course. Um, so it will be just 10 series, regular novel.
Oh, cool, cool. But it will have illustrations in it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, who's
Yes.
doing your illustrations? Those are really cool.
Well, unfortunately, we have different illustrators that assist, and then I have to use AI on some occasions because of the money
Oh,
hold.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, illustrations now are costing anywhere from, depending on what it is, 75, 100, $200 a pop. So, but what I found the difference is that the illustrator can can pop it out because he's listening more. With AI, you're just giving it your ideas, and I'm putting in a whole. I have illustrate what I call illustrative caps that define. They say, white male, white beard, 60 years of age, gaunt. I go through a whole description, but sometimes AI just don't do it for you. You still have to kick it back and delete it and try to get what you want out of it. So you can spend anywhere from 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour or more, just messing with just dealing with AI, trying to get your right format.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
and
AI can mess up your copyright.
yeah, it messes up everything as far as that. So um, the good thing is that I have a little bit of that net, but it's nothing. There's none of that in the writing.
I heard that. Dietrich, okay, we got Zandine here. He's part of our panel.
Nice to meet you, Dietrich.
Hey, how you doing, sir? How's it going?
All right, good
I'm
brother.
going to have
Just fine. Thank
everybody.
you.
I'm going to have everybody tell you who they are, their name, and a little bio, so you know who you're
Hey,
talking to.
Paul, could we cut that? I cut it out of every episode anyway. It's just
Yeah,
not whatever. We don't. Nobody really does that in podcasts. And if we do it at the beginning, that's fine. But Diedrich's been already telling us about the show, so I'd hate to cut right in the middle of the show.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, but we're all basically authors. I'm an author. Phil's an author. Zandine's an author. Done some entertainment and stuff like that. So, and Steve, if he ever comes on, he's an author too. So,
Can you hear me?
Steve is on with with
Steve
voice,
O.
but not with video.
I can't bring my image up for some reason on my phone. I don't know why.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. Well, anyway, Deidre, your Bug Force Micronaut is there? It's sort of like a almost like a Ant Man from Marvel Comics. He can control the insects and stuff like that.
They can't control the insects.
Oh, they can't control
No,
them.
they can't control insects. But what they do is they have special tools and weaponry to try to combat the insects. And one of the things the public when they were editing the book, they wanted I always capitalize Bug Force because it stands for something. And when you're editing, they want it to read precise a certain kind of way. And they want it to be spelled without the capitalization within the text. And my thing was with Bug Force stands for something, and what it stands for is is Bio Unit Ground Force for operational reconnaissance, containment, and engagement. So this whole first book is really about them going out to recon and find out what the lay of the land is
Hmm.
for the insect community. It was never really meant in the beginning for them to go out and try to conquer or do anything like that. It was really just a reconnaissance type mission to find out where man stands in the whole scheme of everything. And then when it gets to book two, it kind of escalates a little bit because they they start to build a place, a fort called Stonewall, right there at the foot of the oldest tree that what I had mentioned to you earlier. And so everything comes together with the Micronauts and the Tree of Life right there and the resonance. And so that's when they start figuring out this is not a conquering thing, this is a balance thing.
Wow.
Okay.
You man, this is it's even more awesome, more than even I thought it would be. I mean, it sounded super interesting, but you know, in hearing you talk, I was wondering, are there any invisible forces, on Earth influencing human behavior? You think, or what's something in your book that would gently scare people if they believed it, or stuff like that? And I was thinking as you were talking.
So when we get to book two, um, and I'll let it out here, the resonance itself is a it moves through every form of life on earth. It's what keeps the earth going and living. What keeps the plant growing.
Okay.
It's what causes everything to react like it's reacting in the earth itself. That same resonance um, has different. It has characters that are part of the prime root that come alive, and they assist the micronuts.
Ah.
They are neutral. They're not on any one side, but what their job is to keep the balance.
Okay.
And it's to keep the balance between man and insect as they go through this whole deal.
What? So
The
would you
other
say that's spiritual?
it's spiritual,
Right on. Okay.
and then we have what we call a character called Barkeen,
Mm.
who is actually, believe it or not, is a beetle, but because man had been there before, the beetles were the chosen insect to be like the priesthood type
Hmm.
deal. And so they have this one beetle that is the queen's envoy that ends up tracking along with the tree division in order to teach them things as they go along about the earth as a whole.
That's deep. That's deep.
Dedric, there's also too a Marvel comic book with the name Micronauts. Will that cause any kind of confusion or problem?
I hope not. Because ironically enough, I've never heard of that comic book. But on my Facebook page, a guy piped in and said, "I used to play with these Micronauts when I was a kid." So I say, "What?" I say, "No," because everybody think their idea is the first thing idea, right? So,
Right.
but then I looked it up and I saw that there were uh, micronauts that toy not micronaut knots, but they are not similar and they're very different to what I have.
Right, right, right. Okay. And when you're talking about for 30 years, this was in your mind, it kind of reminds me of myself when I was in the army and I was thinking of all these characters, but I was too busy with the army to actually work on them. But it was haunting me. I was constantly thinking about them. And
Mhm.
now that I'm retired, I'm bringing them all out.
Right.
So, was did you go through that same experience where you're just
It's
constantly thinking of it?
I guess I could call it a haunting if you will, like you. I worked for 25 years down here with Travis County. I actually was a deputy, a sergeant down here,
Nice.
retired, and
Hmm.
um, and like I said, I will always talk about it with my wife and my children and that type of deal and run through it and it just turns out I took their advice this time because they said, Dad, why don't you write that down and make it into a book? Because I talked about it so much and with them it's so vivid. You and you know because you're authors, you see these things in your mind, whether you can come up with the wording or not. You see it in your mind is it's just like it's there.
What's your personal experience that really, because usually when you have something this deep and it carries you like that, it's like some kind of experience that moved you. Was there any personal experience with this?
No, I don't think so. Other than as a child, I did play by myself a lot.
Okay, I did. Were
and
you only
and,
child?
and I was not the only child, but
Okay, okay,
I have two sisters and myself, but we were not always together.
okay, okay.
Okay, because it was kind of like a broken family type deal. But
I understand.
when you're by yourself and you having to play uh, by
Yeah, yeah.
yourself. Your mind. I think that's how my mind developed is because I was able to make up things and do things around the house myself. I mean, I like sci-fi, Buck Rogers,
Yes. Oh
Star
yeah.
Trek. So I mean, these are the things that I looked at and I did as a kid growing up, and I just think it never left me.
Oh, that's good. So, do
Are,
you sketch it all? Do you make any of your characters? Do you get? I know you guys probably talked about AI before that, but do you sketch it all yourself?
I do.
You know, I want if you
I
do,
do.
I would like to ask for a small favor for our audience. At the end, if there's any point in time, you could take a little piece of paper, just draw a stick figure, anything you can of any character, anything that you feel you want to show us on, and it would I would be so thankful for that.
Okay.
Is that background you got right there? Is
That's
that from the
beautiful.
book?
Yeah, that's
Bugs,
that's that's part of the book. No, actually, that's displaying the four divisions and command.
that's amazing, man.
That's cool. I was reading it behind you, the environmental liaison and wilds interface. It's looks like a set of encyclopedias.
so your wife pushed you and said, "Hey, why don't you start writing a book of all these ideas and everything?" Right?
Yeah, she says write it down, put it in the book, and I mean before somebody else gets the idea.
Oh,
Hmm.
fantastic! And who's your publisher?
It's Neiman Springs.
Okay, okay.
Nice, nice. Wow.
Congratulations! I'm very happy for you. So this will be your first book.
This is my first one, and after this one comes out, I'm gonna put the next one in as well to get it edited and get it to get it done. And so I've learned a lot with this one.
Hey.
I think the second one will be quicker, and it helps because I already have three manuscripts for the books. So and it was just good. Just it's very cathartic, and it's a stress relief
Hmm.
just to sit down and release your mind from all the stuff that's in it, that's going around in it, and
Right,
to be
right.
able to sit down and just to put it on paper and type it up is great.
Do you have
You
a
Paul,
know,
you ought
copy
to
of one
hook
of the
him up
books?
with some of our past guests that get on Tubi and get their stuff. I mean, he could do just as good as Melon Heads, right?
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Better.
I
Probably
mean, getting
sounds like a better
it
story.
seems like if you have it together these days, that you
Oh
can
yeah.
the content people eat it up.
Right.
You have a copy of the book or one of the books?
I don't have a copy yet. They will
They
send me the, they're gonna send me the copies once it is,
Yeah.
I guess once it's published. I get 20 copies of it.
Have you seen like an author's proof or anything like that, or are you going back and forth with that? Um, you know, I know the process when I did mine is at least with the artist, we went back and forth as to, especially with the layout. I wanted to look this way, and they would send me a PDF of, all right, this is what it's going to look
Yeah,
like.
we've done the page layout, editing, and all of that, and I've went back and forth with them, and even that's uh, you have to be very particular with them as well,
Oh yeah.
and and being able to 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 fill out the forms that they want in order to fix what you want to be fixed if it doesn't look right to your standing. And that's my thing. Whoever does it has to match my mind, what I see. Because other than that, I don't believe it's my idea if it doesn't match what I see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the characters that you're creating, they're very strong characters. Do they utilize any type of weapons?
The weapons they have are the weapons that are specific for insects. Um, they have like Gunny. She has a pulsar a rifle, and essentially what that is you ever seen those electrical deals where the bugs get shot?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what that is. And then I also have a they have the deal where it get the pheromone it sends out pheromone
Okay.
signals to be able to control uh you know
Yeah.
let them know
That's a
that,
natural
hey,
force. It could do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, you can do some damage.
So those are weapons like that that we have,
Wow.
but there's nothing like um what you would say bullets, rounds, or
Yeah. You
anything of
were,
that nature.
you were saying this was more about balance rather than let's go exterminate a bunch of bugs.
Oh
Right.
no.
So are there any I
So
know.
in the first book, we think that's really what it's all about. We have to get rid of the bugs because they're eating up our crops. They're they're swarming in the city. They're doing all these different things. But then we find out later that it's really not about that. It's about the balance.
So are there I know in nature there are beneficial insects. I mean, and there are pests, right? And then there's insects that we've used and had relationships with, like the honeybee for thousands of years. Does the team have insect allies, so to speak?
Yeah. So the bees are our friend, and the beetles are our friend. So we we have a host of friends that are insects.
Hmm.
Cool, very cool.
So in your world, inside, like the people that are living, with this force, and people that's affected by the resonance, what is the people's general, feeling like? Like you got the people of Gotham City, or you got people whatever. How are the people in your story? How are they relating to this whole bug force?
So they're having to adapt, first of all, because of the scale. Um, when they first feel the resonance, they it's a shock to them because then they start to realizing the things that the resonance is responsible for
Ah, okay,
in
okay,
the world. And so it's more of it's not something like they don't hate it or anything like that. It's more of a learning curve for them.
okay.
It's a guide for them.
Ah,
They're trying to understand it, and essentially they're they're wanting to bond with it.
hmm. Interesting. Okay, okay. Like you said,
And
balance.
Dedric, and you're talking about a series. How many books do you project in your mind that will complete this
So
series?
so right now, I think I got 10 in me.
Mm. Oh, 10?
I said I got 10 in me.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
you ever
Oh.
thought about doing manga with that as well, like anime? You know, because the kids love anime, and it's a
I
good
know the
concept.
kids. My kids love anime and the manga books and all that kind of stuff. I am familiar with them. I never thought about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It probably be next a movie and manga. You probably find a Japanese artist that would love to translate it. I mean,
Yeah,
because it's a great story. I mean, you know.
thank you.
When you write, do you come up with the ending first, or does the story just develop and then lead you on a path so that
So when I write, is my endings can change. um, I know what I want, and I'm very unique like that. I know the world that I want to be in, number one, and I know the type of characters or people that I want to be in that world, and I know what the plot should be. And so, but I may start writing, and I might say, "Wait a minute," like I wanted, and Gunny is a favorite one of mine because I named it from after my daughter. I named her after my daughter.
Oh, that's neat.
Um, so I wanted to her to be this big bad person, but during the source of the book, I killed Gunny off, and I say that now, but I killed Gunny off. Uh, she went into a cavern to protect the other guys that were in a squad uh, from ants, essentially. But I mean, it changes. It changes with me. I may sit down and say, I'm gonna have Joe go to the store and buy his mom a loaf of bread and come home and sit down. But I guarantee you, on the way to the store, my mind is gonna come up with something else. But he's gonna go to the store and it's gonna get to the end. But I'm gonna put a lot into it.
Also, Dedric, when your book is published, are you going to celebrate
I'm playing to.
and get all your family members to buy your first book? That's what
The
I did.
premiere. We
When
gotta
I
be invited. You gotta invite us to the premiere,
I,
man.
I certainly will. I certainly will invite y'all. I mean, after all, you the first podcast, so and I appreciate that, and I thank y'all for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I mean, it works both ways. Podcasts. It's good to get new authors because you ready to talk about your work, and we ready to hear it. And I'm sure the audience. And like I said, you know what? If I could get you to do one of them sketches, that'll make this like a classic episode for us and for you.
Okay.
I mean, you do a stick figure. I mean, I can't draw myself, so anything is gonna. I never been. I used to do the superhero characters. I tried to, but you
Let me see
lost me
what I can
after
come up.
that.
Let me see what I'm not a good artist. That's why I have to have an illustrator. But let me see what I can come up with.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Dedric has illustrators.
Get my
So,
Hey,
yeah.
but it'd be like his signature. Whatever he draw, that's Dedric, man. That's the author. What
Yeah.
you saying, Paul?
Yeah, and now you sound like my son because my son say, "Dad, you can draw, but my drawing is not to the standard that I would like uh, for it to present to the, to
I
the
see what you're
public."
saying. Yeah,
You know what I
to do
mean?
your layout and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not to
Well,
that
fortunately, we
standard.
got AI, and you know what? Luma is even beating Banana and Gemini. It's beating that. There's stuff coming out every day. By the time you do your next book, Claude and everything will have, it'd be so. I mean, everything's working together.
Yeah,
you
and
know
and I'll be honest with you, I really prefer illustrators. Is
Okay.
they just so expensive, and it's like when you're writing a book, and I don't know how it was for you guys because you're veterans at this, and I'm a newbie, I'm a novice, and so it's like everybody is trying to get a piece of the pie before the pie is done.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
Dedric, I know where you're coming from because when I published my first comic book, I had illustrators doing my comic book. But then I had people ask me, well, can you draw one of your characters for me? I'm not an artist. Okay, I'm a
Right,
writer. I'm not
right,
an
right.
artist. Yeah.
you know
Hey,
though when it comes to sorry, Paul, when it comes to some of my favorite books of all times, though, they didn't have any illustrations at all.
That's true.
I mean,
That's
I
Right?
true.
mean, none of Stephen King books ever had any illustrations in them. You got a cover, and some
Okay,
of those
that's
covers
it.
really were nothing to write home about. It was the book itself where the magic was, and that left everything to your imagination. So I really think
And that's and
if you
that's
got a
funny.
great story, get a good, pay for a cover, and then let your words do
Yeah.
the rest.
And yeah, and that's funny that you say that, because I said that it would be great if I could just, if when they do my cover, which they're working on now, is I want a great cover that when people look at it, they say, "Oh, I think I would like to read that."
Right.
Now it's my book, so of course I'm biased. I think it's a good book. So, but I think it will really make people think, and I think they will really enjoy. Uh, I think they will really enjoy the world. I've enjoyed it, so I think they would.
Well, you better, because if
So
you don't like it, then nobody else will.
he go.
That's it. That's
So so
it.
it,
That's
so it
it.
sounded to me like you just said you talked about some parallels. So the force, the resonance, the balance. What things in your book are parallel to real concepts you feel in the world, as far as maybe it might be love, respect, or whatever? Because the resonance sounded like it was a balancing thing and sounded like a good thing. What parallels do you see in the modern day world with your book?
So the balance is really just respect and showing stewardship over the place that we live in, basically.
Okay.
And so that's really what it's all about. And what even triggered this off when you read the first book, what even triggers off this deal with the prime root getting upset about everything is simply because man went too far in the progression, and they didn't know the root was there, but in their digging and in their excavations they hit that root and messed it up.
Okay.
So, and whenever something is broken, it's just like anything else grows, it tries to fix itself. So it's trying to fix itself, but it had another way to do it along with mankind rather than against mankind. So the balance is respect and love through it all.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right.
Hey, Dedric, I'm going to have to stop everybody. We're pretty soon, we're about 5 minutes, we're going to be shutting down. But what's going to happen is we're going to take a 10-minute break and you'll receive a second link so we can finish up this interview.
Okay,
So,
sounds great.
okay, but right now you got about 4 minutes. One thing I want to ask you, uh, J.K. Rowling, who did Harry Potter, she was homeless, and one day she's sitting in a cafe, and she has a little napkin, and she started writing these little notes about Harry Potter, and then she wrote this book, and she became famous. Um, do you do that where something pops in your head and you got to pull your
Yes,
car over,
yes,
you got to write it out
yes,
too, right?
yes, yes. When
Yeah.
it comes in my head, and I can be sitting down, I'm a man, and I'm thinking, and the first Sergeant Miller does something, and I need to write. I write it down. I write it down.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
they got a necklace now, Paul. They got a necklace that just came out. AI necklace go around. So when you writers and journalists, when you want to say something, it's on your neck. You can be records from your neck. It's just a
Okay,
little necklace. It's
okay,
kind of cute.
okay.
wow. Okay, okay.
I mean, I don't know. Some people prefer to write down, and everybody has their way to
Yeah.
remember stuff.
Yeah,
So
I'm kind of old school like that. I like to write.
yeah.
Even my time as a deputy, going to a call, I'm just so used to writing.
Hey,
Oh,
thank you for your service too. My mom
Yeah.
and father were SFPD.
Oh
yeah.
man, great, great.
And I used to be an undercover MP in the army
Oh, okay,
in Germany.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
I worked with the drug suppression team,
Heavy,
CID Criminal Investigation Division.
Okay.
And I was
heavy.
on a
Okay.
nuclear submarine for a couple of years.
Oh
Dang.
wow. So yeah,
That's for real.
you
It
don't
was
play
just a little
around.
fast attack submarine. We didn't have any missiles like the ones in the movies, but we still punched holes in the ocean.
Wow.
Steve sounds like you were like our water division then.
Yeah.
It's not that glamorous, I'll tell you.
Hey, Steve, do you Do you remember the Sea View on TV?
Oh my God, yeah, sure. We
Borish
used to
to the
make when we were on standing watch on a sub, driving the sub. We used to make jokes about the sea view, about how every time they were attacked by a giant jellyfish, it would rock back and forth, and all the sparks
Yeah,
would fly out of the panels.
man.
oh yeah,
And they were
oh
always being taken over by aliens every week.
I used to love that show. I used to love it. Yeah, Borish to the bottom of the sea, and it was
Yep,
sort of like a Star Trek in the ocean.
right.
Steve, what do you do when you get stir crazy down to like you really want to get out or come up and you can't? You
You,
realize,
you
hey, look,
you you don't even think about it. I mean, you're so caught up in the routine, and
okay,
you're just trying to get some sleep, stand your watch, and not screw up.
okay.
Yeah.
Especially not
It's
Is it
screw
like,
up.
How
is that
many
how it
people?
is with the bug force, Dietrich?
huh?
How's it with the bug force in the water division?
It's pretty much like the Navy, except it's not an ocean. It's just
Okay.
it's just small little rivers and running water and maybe a pond or something like that. So,
Ah,
but
okay.
it's same concept, but a little different. They're puddle
What
pirate.
what would people be scared? What when you said that you just made me laugh. What would people be if this was real? You know, or applied. What would people be scared of? What the bug force is protecting us or getting the balance of something. What would people be scared of if this was real?
I think they would be scared of the character that's instructing all the insects.
Okay.
Uh, that character there,
Hmm.
because that character there has harnessed some of the resonance and corrupted it.
Ah, okay.
Is that
So the
And
character an
so
protector.
insect?
that character is an insect.
What kind of
It,
insect is he? Or an ant?
it's a mixture of insects.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
It's a
that's
mixture.
interesting.
She is and it is a she. She is a mixture of insects, and I mean I've lived just about everything else. Let me go on to tell you that her name is Mandibrix, and so she is the one that's coordinating through the resonance on the insects, telling them where to march, where to go, uh, and how to handle everything. So the concept in the first book is if you can get to whatever is controlling the insects, then you can win the battle.
All right, Dedric, we're back again. Um, after your book is published, and let's say all 10 of your books are published, would you start thinking comic book, graphic novel, TV show, movie?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't mind it being a movie or something of that nature. I'm not that familiar about graphic novels or comics or anything like that. But I don't know, maybe a movie or something like that. I am working on another book now too, so um, I can get that one out there too. Work on that. So, and
Oh,
it's more of a historical detective mystery. So.
oh really? Yeah, can you tell us about that?
So it's called the Chronicles Isaiah Booker, and what he is a constable in 1843 Austin, Texas, and it is around the time of the Servant Girl murders. And as you know, hey son, as you know that those murders never did get solved. But he goes through and we find hints and stuff about who may or may not have done them. And he's just kind of a staple there in Austin, Texas. And he goes and he leaves the constable service after a couple of years because of the pushback that he gets in the political realm of looking for people who are doing things wrong because most of the people who are doing the wrongdoing are the people with the money. So what happens is he becomes a Pinkerton,
Oh,
and as a Pinkerton he sneaks around and finds out different things. So I've been working on that one, and so and I've started pushing my ideals through on that. So that would probably, after I finish this, I will probably work on that.
And he'll probably run into, well, if he's a Pinkerton detective, he'll probably be running into some historical figures in the Old West.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
These
Interesting.
these murders you were mentioning in Texas, I don't know that. I mean, I know a little bit about Texas, but I've never heard of these murders. Could you tell us a little bit about
Yeah, well,
them?
so they're called the servant girl murders, and what they were mostly were black women or black servant girls that were being killed in Austin, Texas during that period in time. And of course, the police force wasn't strong, and then the era being what it was, there wasn't that much emphasis put on those murders. The last two murders were two white ladies or two white girls that got murdered. And that's when law enforcement started trying to do things like up the patrols and put more lanterns out, that kind of thing. So,
Wow.
That's an interesting
I
plot.
wanted to mention when I was a kid, I was obsessed with superheroes. So I was drawing my own comic strips all the time. And my
mm,
artwork wasn't terribly skilled, but I actually, at one time, I published a comic book, just with my dad would Xerox it at work, called The Weekly Funnies. I had a superhero strip, a science fiction strip, a cartoon strip. I sold it for a nickel around the neighborhood.
oh,
So that
wow.
was my claim to fame. I found I found some of those up in the attic. They're just
Okay.
awful to look at, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite hero growing up was Superman. And of course, the closest I got to that was George Reeves, the Superman show. And that, then Batman coming on after that. So that was my deal.
Of
Love the
course, I
colors
was
in
introduced to
Batman, the old
DC,
Batman. Didn't you love them
but
colors?
when I
Yeah.
discovered Marvel, the Marvel superheroes. I discovered the Marvel before it was Marvel. They had all those monster comic books,
Mhm.
Tales to Astonish, Journey into Mystery, and all
Oh
those
yeah.
Tales of Suspense with Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko's art, Stan Lee's plotting. Man, I
Man,
was just
man.
I crossed Woodward Avenue without crossing at the light against my parents' wishes to get to the one bookstore, comic book store, that would carry those.
Mm.
And also, Dedric, I want to ask you too. Since you live in Texas, there's a Mexico City close to the border of Texas. Um, and I think if I'm pronouncing it right, I'm terrible with Spanish. I'll spell it out. Ciudad Juarez, where
Yeah.
300 women were killed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's up there by El Paso.
Yeah. Would you? Yeah. Yes. Would you ever be writing about some of the terrible things that happens across the border from Texas?
I don't know. I guess that was something that I would have to look at and have an
Hmm.
understanding
Hmm.
of, because just like this book that I'm looking at now, writing with Isaiah Booker, it's a lot of background and studying that goes into that, because you also want to keep the historical context in it. Even though it's fiction, you want to keep some historical context in there, and so that would be something awesome to take on, especially if it was solved.
Yeah. Yeah. They're involved with femicide. It's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Hey
Um,
Paul, you know what? I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this. How does your story at all connect with the paranormal or time travel or any anomalies, anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
would you consider your characters as superheroes?
I guess kind of, sort of, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they look
Yeah.
like superheroes. When I
Yeah.
on Facebook, we're friends on Facebook,
Yeah.
and then your thing popped up on the timeline. I go, oh, some superheroes. I
Yeah,
mean, they look cool. They
yeah.
look cool.
Wow.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I
Who's the
like.
strongest character? Who's got the most power? In is it the villain, Manda Breaks, or Because I was going to ask you, of your strongest character in that universe, would any of them power wise compare with any of your superheroes that you like say Superman or anybody else?
So there's no comparison with Superman or
Okay.
anything like that, Amanda Brex, but I would tell you that the characters, I believe, tend to balance out themselves. Everybody can do something.
Okay.
That's why it's like four divisions that they're all from. The leader, of course, is Captain William Jones, and that's from one of my partners who died on the shift. He was pulled over a guy, and the guy was had cocaine in his trunk, and when he went to talk to him, he was shot. So it's kind of
Sorry to hear
a
that.
memory to him, and being the leader that he was at that time. So it would be William Jones, and then my next person would probably be Vec, which Vec is half mechanical man. He's half bionic, what I call Aegis-wear, because he has been there well before Jones and Miller and Dixie. Before they even came along, he was there trying to monitor and look and see how man could progress and make things better. But he was torn apart by an insect, by an ant. And so he lost two legs, an arm, and his eye with a scratch across his face. So he's one of my characters, and he is full of the resonance because his bionic parts allows him to feel that resonance. When
Okay.
it's talking in the world or when it's asking to do something, he can feel it. And he and Barkeen, who is the envoy to the Queen Beetle, can feel it strong. So those two, if I was to say that had some type of supernatural
Okay.
type of power, those two would have it because they have the ability to feel what the earth is going through and what the earth is thinking.
And Dedric, you probably too, from what you're saying there, it seems like some of the characters, the inspiration comes from friends and family.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's
Now, as far as name wise, the characters have kind of always been there, but to give them a name and to with the mannerisms that I want, yes. The answer is absolutely yes.
and I have to ask you, Dedric, is your wife an inspiration for one of your heroes?
Yes, she is.
Oh, can you tell me about it?
Yes, she
Great question.
is. She is the commander of the water division.
Ah,
Okay.
all right, all right.
Sounds like it must be the most important division then.
No, well, yeah, well, it can be. It can be. I know that she's the most important thing in this house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that.
But the water division is the one who supplies the bug force and make sure that they get everything that they need.
Okay.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Cool.
Phil, so Phil's a a fellow writer, and he really takes time to get his pictures and everything printed. Phil, what do you think is on the horizon, like a user friendly medium between people that want to use illustrators, draw it themselves, or use AI? What do you think is a happy medium for artists in the future coming up?
I think our last guest kind of hit the nail on the head, where AI is just going to be a tool that artists use to draw faster, to illustrate faster. I think there are certain cheats you can do to get around the copyright. Use AI to create an image for you, and then put a layer of tracing paper over that image. Print it out, and then trace over it, change it a little bit. You can get something almost just as nice, And as long as you actually put pen to paper, it's no longer AI. So there are ways around, to cheat any system. Um, it's a real hard thing to resist. Not all of us are blessed like Da Vinci and able to just paint a Sistine Chapel or things like that. Everybody has their own gifts, but all of us have the urge to create, I think, or at least most of us, a lot of us do. Let's just say. And so, and a lot of us have a story we want to tell, and the not all of us can draw anything more than stick figures, unfortunately. So it's AI is a tough temptation to not use. But like I was saying earlier in the podcast, if you really have a great story, you don't necessarily have to go the comic book route. I've done that because it's an easy, or not easy, but it's if you're doing short stories, it's hard to resist.
Hmm.
But but Stephen King wrote some great short stories without any illustrations. And so Anne Rice wrote tons of books without any illustrations whatsoever. And you can afford to spend $200 on a cover, hire an artist to do a nice cover for you.
Yeah.
If you've taken the time to write a couple of thousand words, or write 300, 400, 500 pages and really put a nice book together, then you can scrape $200 together to have a good cover.
Yeah. I
So
think that's why I really want to have a nice cover for my book. Um, yeah, I want to have a real nice cover for it, and then I'll focus a whole lot more on illustrations in book number two because I think people really gonna need them in book two, just so they have some understanding.
Oh yeah, throwing in some illustrations is pretty good because yeah, you want to see what the character looks like and everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is
Yeah,
there
and
one
that
main
was
protagonist?
that was
Excuse me,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
important to me because I wanted people to kind of see what I was seeing.
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
wanted them to see it through my eyes, what I had envisioned, and incidentally, the chitin, the Aegis chitin armor that they are wearing, though that's beetle armor.
Mhm.
Just so you know, that's beetle that's been cleansed and washed, and makes it the color that it is. And then the other colors that are implanted there is by division, depending on the division they're in.
So how are you able to think out the intricate parts? Like it's one thing to have the concept, but I'm always impressed when people follow the story all the way through and add the details. What's that process like for you? And do you have to be somewhere special like the living room or the mountaintop or the forest? Where what does that look like for you?
I just like to be in my own head and be by myself. And if I have an idea and I can't get to really think it through, I write it down. And then I come and I look at the idea and see if it really is a part of what I want to put in the
Hmm.
book.
Okay.
Because incidentally, everything that I think of isn't something that I want to put in the book. Uh,
Okay.
because I can be driving at work or doing something and something to come up and say, hey, I think Dixie would be great with a late relationship with this person. But then when I sit down and think it through, and it's that's not really the direction that I really want to go because I have to look at what the character is about and what they're trying to do and in the world that they are in. Um, without sounding too corny, I guess, or nerdy, and I guess that's really what where I go with this is that my world is real to me, and and everything that occurs in it, I want it to be a realistic experience, but I want it to be in an exciting experience, but I want it to be seen through my eyes. And so, in order for you to see it through my eyes, it has to it has to appear like I see it, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
I
And so,
understand.
and 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 so that's kind of how it's a whole process I go through. Even with the divisions, you think about the tree division. Well, is green. The trees are green, and so their color is a green. And the ground division, you got the dirt that's brown, so it's a rust. Their uniforms are rust colored. The
Okay.
water division is water. I mean, and I know we don't have blue water everywhere, and some water is green, but for them, for me, teal is the jump out color for me, uh,
Ah.
for the water division. So and that's how I do it. And then the navy blue is for the air division. So and they all wear the same armor, but if you notice, they all have different undergarments on. So undershirts and pants. So and that's the reason for that, so that they can be identified. And I just it's just so much that runs through my head, and is
Hmm.
Yeah,
and
your
it just
characters look. Yeah, they look like they can kick ass.
Hey, I heard that, man.
Yeah.
And as a child, were you already creative? You were thinking things and writing them down and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to write stories. I used to draw. Like I said, I used to play too, because it was just me. I would play with myself, around the house, backyard, um, all over the place.
Did
I pretend to be Superman, pretend to be
you?
Batman, all those things.
That's funny that you said
GI,
that.
GI Joe,
Oh my
Action
God.
Jackson.
It's
yeah.
funny that you said that because when I think it was second grade, I used to wear a towel around my neck.
Uh-huh.
And then one day, the school bully grabbed the towel and swung me around. And I learned not to wear a towel anymore for a cape.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I never wore one to school, but I did wear one at home.
Man, he thought that was your Linus blanket or something, huh?
Oh
So
my God.
I got some stuff, Zandine. If you I don't know if you can see this here, but I can show you a couple of things that I have done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would love that.
I know
Yeah.
that you've asked a couple of times, but again, it's not really. I don't know. Can you see this?
Yes, let me see. I could for a sec. Yeah, right now. Yeah, I can see. Okay, pull back a little bit. It's yeah, there it goes right there. I can see it. Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
these are the ranks and stuff that I drew. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Um, they're a little different.
Man, I
Um,
appreciate you showing that. For our audience, you're
this
getting
is
it right here from the author himself. He's showing us his personal designs. Just check it
Yeah,
out.
and this is just the organizational structure for Bug Force. Uh, and this is more ranks.
Yeah.
Let me get into some. Here
Awesome.
is a person. I'm not sure if you can see this.
Yeah, I got it right there,
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
I can
yeah,
see him.
yeah.
Can
Oh
you see
yeah.
that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Nice. Okay. Yeah, your son was right. You can draw better than you say.
no, I don't know if I want that, but I'm showing it to you, let you know that man, I'm
Yeah.
very.
Yeah.
This is Jones here, and this is Miller. This is Sergeant Miller. Um,
Wow.
Yeah,
and this
you're a
is
better
Dixie Lake.
artist than me.
Dixie
This,
Lake.
yeah, this is Dixie. Um, there is a story behind her having wings, but I'm not going to reveal that on this
Okay,
interview.
okay. I'm happy to
Um,
see it. Wow.
right here, and just I have drawing pads, of everything that
Yeah, okay.
um,
Okay.
of what I put together. It's just to me,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
to
I really
me,
like
they
it.
just don't look. To me, they don't look like they're presentable uh to those that's going to go pay for a book, or that's
Okay,
they're going to
okay,
spend money
okay.
to buy this book. And for me, it's all about the read for me, because I'm a reader, and it's all about the read. If you get into the story, I think the people will really enjoy the story. But I'm a realist too. I know that a lot of people don't pick up a book unless it's something there that catches their eye.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've done that when I go to the fantasy, like when I read fantasy or science fiction books. I can't lie. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm looking to see which cover that kind of catch my eye. But I can honestly say it's really only been two authors that had the cover in the book that kind of matched for me. I mean, like, Piers Anthony, who wrote the Blue Adept series, it was a book called Juxtaposition, Blue Adept, and Phase. Anyway, it was about a guy who lived on a fantasy world and science fiction world. You had two selves, and if you he was a poor person on the science fiction world, and he was a strong wizard on the other world. So they killed his wizard self off, and it was gonna kill him off because he was too powerful. But he found out about the plot, and he was able to go back. But it was, and ironically, the guy that wrote it was an officer himself. But I was wondering when you said that, your experiences, because you tend to have a lot of people experiences. If you made it after the first year, and the freaks come out at night, it's, once you make that first year, you and my father and you guys, I know how it is for you. So
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
you got a lot of stories, a lot of way to relate more than what. So if I'm probably reading the story, you would have some flavor and anecdotes and relationships in there that would be natural because of what you've seen. But the reader, unless they knew that about you, I don't know if you put that in your bio, but
Yeah,
they wouldn't know. It just will flow.
yeah.
That's interesting, man. Thank you for showing me the sketches. I really appreciate that.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Yeah, Dedric, you're a good artist. I can't draw like that.
I get.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I do some drawing of characters. Well, I used to for my stories, but my art I can't even compare it to yours. Yours is so like pro. Yeah, you do good anatomy.
Well, I appreciate that. You're mimicking my son now.
So,
Because
so
he's
your
telling me
son wants you to.
he don't want me to pay for no illustrations, no AI. He say, "Pop, you wrote it. Sit down and just draw everything. Draw it and color it all." I'm like,
Wow.
well, I'm not that much of a professional to do that, but
Hmm.
so
What do you know? What anime your son likes, or which ones they watching? One
I,
Piece,
I
Clover.
I don't know which ones that he
Okay.
likes.
Okay.
'Cause I've never been an anime person, but
Right.
Um, and to be honest with you, it took me a while to really even understand it because I was calling it, which got me in trouble. Uh, well, hente or something
Hentai,
like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I was about to say, yeah, if you
Uh,
have,
uh,
that's
uh,
the more risque. But I'm gonna tell
yeah,
you something. Just like they got hentai and the X, they
yeah,
got something called signing, which is like for grown men. So like if you're a father and you have sons,
yeah,
they write it from that position. Or if you're a mother and have a daughter,
yeah,
and say you might even been a superhero yourself, but your son never knew you used to run
right,
like that, and you kept it. So they have divisions of. Like what age group you want to reach, but yeah, the hentai get you in trouble.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he used to correct me all the time, my son. So, and I'm blessed because I'm close with all my children. So,
That's
um,
beautiful.
they They tighten
How old
me
is
up when
this
I
one?
need. They tighten me up when I need to be tightened up.
He said they keep you. Hey, look, you do the tighten up. You say Marcus? What's his name? What is that? Your son Marcus?
Charles,
Charles? What? Is
Charles,
it, how old
Charles.
is he? The
He's
one that's talking about the drawings.
Charles right now is 26.
Okay, okay. So he's a man. You
Yeah,
got he knows. Yeah, he knows you pretty good. What you he's supporting you to
yeah,
go ahead and do it. Okay,
yeah.
that's all right, man. I got a son 26 too, same age.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I've been blessed. I have 5 children, 3 grandchildren. So
Grandchildren.
yeah.
What do they feel about what do they feel about the book? That must be exciting for them to see the characters and everything.
Oh, they love it. They love it.
Wow.
They can't wait. They really can't wait till they get to feel it and touch it and read it.
Yeah.
Wow. And
So
are any of your children characters in the book?
yes,
Daughter, yeah, his daughter.
Okay.
yeah, my
Innocent
daughter.
wife.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Daughter.
cool. That's
That's
cool.
Gaba, right?
say again.
Your daughter's Gaba? Gaba? How do you pronounce it?
Gunny, Isabel
Gani, Gani.
Rhodes.
Okay, Gani,
Yeah,
Gani,
yeah, she's Isabel Gunny Rhodes.
Gani.
Gunny,
Like that
like
name.
a gunnery sergeant.
Okay, okay.
And
You said she got
also
the
to
pulsar?
Dedric, where is all this action taking place at? Where on earth
Mm.
is this happening at?
So the first book is kind of sporadic, and it doesn't really tell you where it's happening at. The second book pinpoints, and it really doesn't say a whole lot, but it's actually Mississippi.
Okay.
Basically, if you look at the Facebook page, that river and that tree is kind of
Mm.
symbolic
Mm.
of that area.
Wow. And I've been to Mississippi because when I was stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, I was with OP4 opposing forces
Yeah.
and I taught the Soviet threat. So I had to teach the ROTC
Oh,
at the university.
Wow.
And there was two universities that I went to over in Mississippi.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's just one of the first locations.
Oh
So
yeah. Are
it's
you familiar with Mississippi?
It's mystical. It's a lot of ancient history.
yeah.
Yeah. What university is it right close to Louisiana by Shreveport? And it was an all African American university. I can't think of the name of it, but that's where I taught the ROTC at.
Okay. It wasn't no, it wasn't LSU, right? No.
Oh, I did LSU. I did that
Um
one. Yeah. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, hey, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's all
Yeah.
right.
Oh, but anyway, go ahead, Zandine.
Oh
You
yeah,
was
no,
gonna
I
ask.
actually you and Phil have, are more prolific. I just want to I know you have some interesting questions. I don't want to take up all, all the mic time. But the other questions I was asking is, just the parallels, like, when the resonance is really what made you come up with the resonance as a force? Is that like the force, or is it something different? Or is
no,
it like chi?
it's something totally different. Um I guess you could say it's kind of chi like, but everything a resonance is your vibration. Even the earth has a resonance. So um
Okay.
that just it just came to me when I was writing, when they when they were underground and they searching, trying to find mana bricks, and it just came to me when Vec, he could feel this resonance,
Ah, okay.
this deal coming in. At the time, I really didn't have a name for it, but I just started thinking and researching and said this is going to be the resonance. I'm going to call it the resonance.
Hmm.
It's a spiritual power. It's something that
Okay.
brings the earth together to do what it does.
Ah.
And I don't know how many people believe in that or have thoughts about that, but uh, you know, everything on the earth lives and breathes some type of way. So everything is living on the earth except for what we have made on earth, what mankind has made. And so I'm looking at it from the aspect from that point, what kind of connects everybody and in
Hmm.
that world. And it's kind of like a circle of life thing because this resonance, it brings everything together. Brings everything together.
Okay. Wow. I can feel that. It's the same thing like with chi. If anybody done Tai Chi for a while, your teacher will tell you, he'll ask you what is chi. And your first thing you'll be like, oh, it's nature, it's one with my diet. He'll be like, no. He said, look, you've been listening to me magazines, it's full and empty, hard and soft. And I'm like, well, what does he mean? He said, well, it's all around. And you say, huh? And he does his hand and you're like, well, I don't feel it. But after a while, so like if somebody throws a punch at you, and you push them by that way, you can feel that force at that point in time. You can identify it
Mhm.
because you see how far they go with their own force. But
Mhm.
after a while, you start feeling this in every instance.
Yeah.
So like if you had a bird on your palm and you're trying to neutralize it so it doesn't have anything to step on, like, but but the resonance you know, like you say, he was feeling it. After a while, it was something that I guess not everybody perceives the same way or feels it as strong, right?
Yeah,
From what you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
but
And mankind really didn't feel it until they became half an inch tall.
okay,
So, and
okay,
then
interesting.
in book three, um, is really prevalent there in nature,
Mm.
because it would allow man to go so far. You know, we we've been given stewardship of the earth, but we go everywhere and we don't ask permission to go and do anything. We
Yeah,
just we just knock it down, we build, we don't ask any
yeah.
permission, right? So in book three, the resonance uh moves through the plants and the nature to where it changes up even paths that they can travel. They can't go down this path. See,
Ah,
it locks them up. It
there's
locks
some
them
time
down.
travel right there. There's you got
It
a lot
locks
of
them down,
parallels.
and then they have to take the path that the resonance has chosen
Mm.
for them to take, but not this one.
See, that's like a
And
time
then
split.
yeah, and they don't buck it, and they don't go against it. And but
Oh, they
I
don't
don't
go
want to.
against it.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. They don't go against it. There is a character that tries to,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to get into that here because
Mm.
that's book three. But yeah,
Mm.
it's so I don't know.
Okay, wow, I got
Maybe we'll figure everything out by book four because I only got three so far.
man.
And Dedric, the only reason why I was concerned about Mississippi because the college over there was Mississippi Jackson Valley State University, and
Mm,
their ROTC program. They had a person who is like in the same level as a drill sergeant, and
okay,
this dude was badass. And I was going,
okay.
I wonder if Dedric ever got any kind of things out of Mississippi because like this one dude, I mean, he was like a superhero.
No,
No, no.
no. I, no, not at all.
Yep, yep. I'll tell you. But yeah, I'm very proud that you're getting your book out and everything else. I mean, that's just so fantastic, and it'll be a big time to celebrate with family and friends when those books are out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to celebrate, and my I pray and my hope is that people will enjoy
yeah.
the series, and they will read it and can really see the world and an environment, and just really enjoy it and like it for what it is.
Yeah. And Dedric, we got about 3 minutes left.
Oh wow,
How
that's
can
quick.
people reach you? How can people pick up a book in the future when it gets published? Give us all that information.
So when the book is published, you will still be able to come through that Facebook page, and it will lead you to a website. So I will have a
Okay.
website where you can purchase the book from, as well as the regular outlets like Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and that type of thing.
Right on. Dietrich, what would you say to our viewers if they're thinking about writing a book and the first time and they kind of scared, they don't know what to do? What advice would you give them, sir?
Just do it. Just do it. Write it and let somebody look at it and see if it if it intrigues anybody. But even more than that, you do it for yourself. You do it for yourself.
Okay.
I I did it. I did it for myself because like I said, 30 years I've been talking about this and doing it. And my wife finally said, "Why don't you write it?" My kids say, "Why don't you write it down before it's gone?" And so that's what I did, and I did it for myself. But I found myself in the midst of writing it. I really wanted other people to enjoy it like I enjoy it. And so my advice would be to them is don't be afraid. Just step out on faith and do it.
Okay. Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with falling, failing the first time, because I believe if you fall or fail, you can get right back up, try it again. And I'm a believer that everybody is not going to be your audience.
Okay.
There are going to people who don't like Bug Force maybe, and they don't like you say heroes comics, Marvel, or that type of thing. Um, so those folks, hey, I mean, each to his own. This is what I love, and this is what intrigues me, and it has. Be honest with you, it has been with me for so long that it's just a part of me, and so
Okay.
I did it for myself. So I would tell anybody, if you're going to write a book for the first time, don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself.
Hmm.
Do it because you love doing it and you love writing. Do it because you want to give somebody a different world to look at and a different view.
That's solid. That's A1
That's
advice.
right, Dedric. You're creating your own universe. Yep. Yep.
About that.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
good
all the
stuff.
characters and everything. Yeah, he's in control of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
And
say,
Thank you,
brother Phil?
Dedric. We got less than a minute, so I just wanted to thank Dedric for being out tonight. Really enjoyed it, the interview and his time, and look forward to the book.
No, I thank y'all guys for inviting me. I really love being here. It's actually really fun. I've had the jitters tonight,
oh,
y'all have made it really fun. I have really enjoyed myself. So thank you so very much.
thank you
Thank you,
so much,
sir.
Dedric.
Appreciate it.